All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a really groundbreaking technology, one that takes our planet's biggest problem, which is waste, and turns it into a powerful solution. And I'm not just talking about regular recycling. This is about chemically transforming trash into treasure. I mean, let's be honest, this is the reality we're all living with. We are producing trash at a staggering rate, and the old ways of dealing with it, burying it in landfills, they just don't work anymore. Our land is full, our oceans are paying the price, and the stakes are getting higher every single day. So this brings us to the big question, the one that changes everything. What if all that stuff we're so eager to get rid of is actually packed with value? What if we've been looking at this whole waste problem completely backwards? Now, to really get why the solution is so smart, we first have to break down the problem, and it all goes back to a system that was frankly built to fail from the start. For decades, this has been the playbook. We take stuff from the earth, we make products, we use them for a little while, and then we just throw them away. It's a one-way street, and it leads directly to running out of resources and polluting our environment. It's just not sustainable. It can't be. So, how do you fix a system that's fundamentally broken? Well, you don't just patch it up. You replace it with something way smarter. It requires a whole new way of thinking about materials and our economy. And that brings us to the circular economy. The idea here is actually pretty simple, but it's absolutely revolutionary. You design waste out of the picture from the very beginning. So instead of that straight line from cradle to grave, you imagine a circle, a loop, where materials are constantly being reused, remade, and regenerated. In this model, nothing is ever truly waste, because waste becomes the raw material for something new. Okay, that sounds fantastic in theory, right? But how do you actually do that? How do you make that circular vision a reality? Well, this is where a really cool technology called pyrolysis comes into play. It's like the engine that makes the whole circular model run. This quote really hits the nail on the head. See, pyrolysis isn't just burning trash. That's incineration. This is totally different. It's a chemical process where you heat up waste to super high temperatures. But, and this is the critical part, you do it without any oxygen. And if there's no oxygen, it literally can't burn. Instead, the material just breaks down into its basic chemical building blocks. So you're not destroying waste, you're upgrading. So what do you get from this upgrade process? Well, you get three amazing, valuable products all at the same time. I like to call them the three treasures from trash. You get a solid, a gas, and a liquid. Let's take a look at each one. First up, the solid, biochar. Now, this isn't your average backyard charcoal. This stuff is a superstar for soil. It helps soil hold on to water and nutrients, making it way healthier for growing crops. But here's the really mind-blowing part. It locks up carbon for hundreds, even thousands of years. It literally pulls carbon out of the air and puts it back in the ground where it belongs. Okay, next up is the gas, Syngas. This is essentially clean energy that's created right from the waste itself. You can use it to generate electricity, you can use it for industrial heat. It's a direct renewable substitute for natural gas, which means we can rely less on drilling for fossil fuels. And finally, the liquid, bio-oil. This stuff is incredibly versatile. It's a renewable fuel you can use right away in industrial boilers, or you can refine it even further into green transportation fuels. We're talking renewable gasoline and diesel. It's a true clean-burning fuel that's born from what we used to call garbage. Now you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute, don't we already burn trash for energy? And yeah, we do. That's called incineration. But I want to be really clear. Pyrolysis is playing a completely different sport. Let's put them side by side. The difference here is just night and day. Incineration burns waste with oxygen, which creates a whole host of harmful emissions and leaves behind toxic ash that you still have to bury. Pyrolysis, because it works without oxygen, has far, far lower emissions. But the real game changer is resource recovery. Incineration leaves you with ash. Pyrolysis leaves you with those three valuable products we just talked about. It's not even a contest. So if this technology is so powerful, the next logical question is, how do we get it to the places that need it the most? Well, a company called United Earth Energy came up with a pretty brilliant answer. And this idea changes everything. The old way was to haul tons and tons of waste to some massive centralized plant. The new way? You bring the plant directly to the waste. So the UNI Box is basically a complete pyrolysis factory that fits inside a shipping container. You can truck it anywhere and set it up on site, which completely eliminates all those transportation costs and emissions. And get this, it's energy independent. It uses some of the syngas it produces to power itself. It's a self-contained, waste-to-wealth machine you can put wherever you need it.
So, think about the possibilities. Imagine a farm taking all its crop waste, like corn stalks, and turning it right into biochar to put back into its own fields, all while powering its equipment with the syngas.
Or what about the railroad industry? They have a huge problem with millions of old, chemically treated wooden ties. With a system like this, they can process them safely right on site and turn a liability into valuable products. And then there are the really tough ones, like plastics and old tires that clog up our landfills. Pyrolysis is fantastic at breaking these down, turning one of our worst pollution nightmares into the raw materials for new fuels and chemicals. And of course, this applies to every city and town. Instead of paying a fortune to haul away garbage, a community can process its own municipal waste, creating a local source of clean energy and revenue. Okay, so let's zoom out one last time and just think about the big picture here. This isn't just a clever way to get rid of trash. This is a tool that can fundamentally change how our local economies work. When you put it all together, what does mobile pyrolysis actually give us? It means lower emissions. It means a real pathway for businesses and cities to become carbon neutral. It means we finally stop talking about waste to resource and actually start doing it. And it means creating strong, independent, local energy solutions. This is what the circular economy looks like in the real world. And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. The technology to unlock the incredible value that's hiding in plain sight in our own trash cans is already here. The ability to turn our biggest environmental problem into one of our most powerful assets exists right now. So the only question left is, what are we waiting for?